Takes two to tango. I really like this expression because it's true on so many different levels. It can, it's true on the level of tangoing, but can also be said to point out somebody's accountability or lack thereof, because any any situation where involving people, it takes at least two people to create that situation, and both people contribute to its existence. Um, but I feel like it's just even so much more fundamental than that, you know. And you can take that same sort of that same kind of dichotomy of takes two to tango when something bad happens, both parties are responsible in some way, shape, or form. Funny thing about the word responsible, it's response able. Are you able to respond or are you going to react? So when something happens, whether it's your fault or not, you have the obligation to try to respond rather than react to the situation. But anyway, that's kind of a tangent. Um, so yeah, that goes back to the takes two to tango. Well, when we look at life, and it's not even just people, we have you have to enjoy the contrast of life because you really can't have happiness without sadness. You can't have um, good without bad. You can't have up without down. And these aren't just like kind of like armchair philosophy thoughts. Like this is just it's good to appreciate this because if you really think about it, you can't just feel good all the time because it will lose its meaning. It's kind of like if you eat too much ice cream. I feel like you can demonstrate this yourself. If you just keep eating the ice cream, even before you get sick, it's not going to taste as good as it did in the beginning. You're losing the you're losing the kind of memory of before the ice cream as the ice cream is just becoming more and more uh consistent there, and while you just keep eating it. I mean, the same thing can happen even when you're just really thirsty. You could be really thirsty, you haven't drank water for a few hours, maybe you're working out in the hot sun. When you have that glass of water, you like almost forget how amazing water is because it's so contrasted against how thirsty you are. So, if you weren't thirsty, the water doesn't taste that good. It's just kind of like, I don't even want water right now. So it's these contrasts, these dichotomies, they create literally our conceptual world that we live in. Um, and they're very fluid and relative because, as your perception changes, the relationship to whatever else that is being contrasted against your state of mind is it's going to change immediately. You know, it's almost like quantum entanglement or something like that. I was just like an immediate, faster than the speed of light. Like it just changes. The way I kind of think about this is like if you have a painting and you're looking at it, if you add a little bit of white, immediately the darkers get blacker, the darker parts get darker. So and it doesn't take amount of time from your point of view for that to happen. It's immediate because the contrast is what gives the existence to each other, each poles of the duality there, or that dichotomy. Um, so in this way, we're making up these polarities and these dichotomies. We're doing it because it's relative to our thoughts and beliefs and uh, emotions, which is really just a word. Um, that it's all a conceptual matrix, kind of, so to speak, where in order for there to be a self that can somehow know the world, we create all of these contrasts. We label them, we give meaning to them. Even, without you could and then we project it and you forget that you're doing it because it's tricky because it seems like no, there's really these contrasts out there and it's like what's contrasted? Really what's contrasted is the way that it makes you feel. It's the way it makes you feel when you see one color versus another. If you feel the exact same about them, then you're not going to make any distinction. And then there's no contrast. That's what's constructed. That's what's contrasted is the distinctions that you create and give value to. And even you're a distinction. So this whole system is just kind of like it's like a mirage. It's like mirrors bouncing off of mirrors, reflecting and basically um it's almost like consciousness is in a house of mirrors. And the consciousness is bouncing off the mirrors and becoming conscious of different points of view, which builds an identity. And then that identity values certain points of view more than points of views, points of view more, more than others. And then that creates contrast. Um, but really, like if you think about like what is reality made of? I mean, and when we say this, we're talking about the conceptual reality that our conceptual selves conceptually live in. Um, you could say it's made of, atoms and quarks and strings or whatever, but really what it's really made out of, like universally, is um, dualities, dichotomies, opposites. It's made of opposites. It's really weird. Everything is what it is because it isn't what it's not. It's and it's really that simple. So yeah, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button. If you have anything you want to say, please comment down below. If you want to see more content like this when I drop it, hit the little notification. And if you know anybody who might like this, then share it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.